So what's up? We back with it again. I told y'all we was gonna be on here every day, almost not. If every day we gonna be here a couple days out the week, telling y'all about a lot of stuff that's going on in the world. Now I want to get to a main thing that I want to talk about, and I actually got my son with me. Introduce yourself.
My name is EP.
Yeah, so I got DP with me, and we basically gonna explain how the school system manipulates children. So if you think about it, the government set up the school systems for the kids to be able to understand basically a logic of stuff, which would be like, what do you go through in school right now?
I'm going through like math and reading and science.
Right, right. So they put it through math, they put it through science. Okay, they put them through all these subjects, correct, right? And if they do these subjects, they end up mastering at these subjects. And when they master at these subjects actually ain't even really equivalent to nothing that they're actually gonna do in real time. See, some people when they live and work, they have to work, to get all this stuff. So really, they're just teaching them basically I would say, the many steps of being almost there, but not really there because they take them through middle school, elementary, middle school, and then high school and college. So you go through all those stages just to get to a job to basically still work for the system. And what I tell y'all is to think about it because we always know that we're not supposed to be stuck in the system. So I want to talk about the main part of manipulation. It's been real bad with manipulation in the industry for kids, for anything. I say that they push this bad on the youth because they push this real bad on the youth as in anything when it comes to anything, any content that comes out that we see, whether it's on a new platform that they come out with that they show kids and watch, that kids watch or whatever, they promote anything. And this is bad for the youth. Even the schools, for instance, when kids are at school, they are there to be focused and think about something that they got to learn about for that day, or either they learn about a few things for a certain day. But that is not actually keeping them focused, though. Because at the end of the day, their main focus is to come back home because they really don't care about none of that. And that's to be honest and true, because they set them sometimes to do homework, they set them not to do homework. Me personally, I went to Rock Springs Elementary, Rock Springs Middle, and we did not have no homework. Even in high school, we had a no homework policy. So Laverne High School, we didn't have no homework. I never had no homework. It was like classwork. Okay, so if you didn't finish it in class, then you did it at home. That's basically it. But nowadays they try to send you systems where they're like, okay, they give the kids the homework and then they'll go home and do it. But during the day, they really actually didn't even learn nothing in the class sometimes. They're not really jotting down notes like how it is in college, and when it goes to certain stages of this is still not helping the system. And that's what we're here to talk about. So, really just elaborate. Everybody sit down, think about it. What we're really here to explain is that the system in the school system is manipulation because think about this. They make you do the same thing over and over every day, right? So when you're doing the same thing over and over every day, right, it's putting you what? In a loop. A loop, a loop, a loop, a loop, a loop. And one thing we don't want to be in is a loop. We hate being in a loop because if we be in a loop and we're stuck in a loop, that means that we'll be stuck in that loop for the rest of our life. So with the school system, it's set up to put the people in a small state. You start very young. When I say you start very young, you start very young. They put you straight in it, preschool, boom. Then they put you in, elementary, kindergarten, boom. All right. Then they put you in. What's the next one?
First grade.
Boom. So then you go on from there. So once you start going on,
Until fifth grade.
up to 10, then you go to all the extra ones. At the end of this, it's still not teaching them nothing because they really need to learn financial stability and how to pay their rent, how to pay their mortgage if they want a mortgage, how to buy land. They need to be focused on how to really invest in crypto because that's really what's going on right now. And the system won't really teach them most of that. They would just teach them most of the numbers. And it would kind of confuse them because sometimes they have them doing like fractions that has literally nothing to do with what are we breaking down right now in a fraction besides like right now, if I go pay my bill, pay a bill right now.
I got 1/3 of.
We not thinking like that though. We thinking
We
like
just have a whole amount.
We know a set amount that we gotta pay, and we gotta pay it. We don't gotta break this shit down into fractions and into equations. So sometimes you think about that. That's actually is a waste of a little bit of time. That's why I brought a special guest with me, which is DP, because he's actually a kid himself, and he can explain a little bit about what he sees in school. So throughout the day, what is actually the first thing that y'all do when y'all actually go to school? When you actually get into school, the first thing that you do is you what?
So we just have our greetings and just eat breakfast.
Right.
And
Stop
do-
right there. So the first thing they make them do, you already said, they talk and they eat. Then after that, what do you guys do?
Do reading.
Y'all go straight to class, right? Get to doing this. You see what I'm saying? They go through that same cycle. So after you do that, right? You have a class. Do you have a class each day that's different, or you have the same class each day?
So let me say this in a proper way. So we have a class every day that has two because in reading we have reading and history. And math we have math and science. So we do the same thing over and over.
Right. Throughout the week, y'all do the same thing over. So okay. So what about any other subjects?
That's it until Fun Friday. We just have rooms to go in so we can play. They have a room that have games. They have a room to watch TV. They have a room
You see the treat. See, back in the day.
and puzzles.
See, back in the day, I don't know. Back in my day, we had things that we used to do that used to keep us in okay. We used to learn, but the thing is about learning is we actually will have we could say a Fun Friday thing too, where we would have these ticket things like how you guys used to get.
Oh, ticket carts?
Right, and they would let us go up there and go get snacks and food, whatever we wanted to get with it, and it make us feel like we accomplished something. But then at the end, we're learning that we're still stuck in this loop where we're achieving this goal to get something that's already out here in the streets that you can go get yourself. But they make you feel finesse because you're like, man, I want that. So I'm going to grind for that. And whatever they tell you to do, that's what you're doing to get it. So basically, okay, so.
Oh, and even in lunchtime, they give, you have to bring money so you can get, what's it called? Chips.
Right, so
$1.
So if you want extra different type of chips, you got to spend extra money. Boom. On top of some kids, they get government assistance, so they give them the lunch for free. Some kids, if their parents make too much, they got to pay for their lunch. So if you really think about this, it's all based on the system. You look at all this stuff and you look at everything that's going on right now, it's based on the system. And everything is set up by the system. Think about it. It's set up by the system. So that's what I mean by they start you off very, 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 very young because they want you to be stuck in this until you get older. I've literally witnessed this myself of seeing a man work, like I said in the previous video, 20 to 30 years. And I was like, wow, but he was getting paid $72 an hour. But he was working at a factory. And this is the thing. Do you remind you that he was dang on there about 60, maybe 67 years old? And he was probably there for 25 years.
25.
And he's only getting paid $73 an hour.
What? 7?
And that's a lot to a lot of people if they sit there and think, wow, $73 an hour. Yeah, but he was there for 20 hours. For 20 years.
They should have just give him $100.
But look, this is the thing that I'm thinking. And I'm saying this because, okay, when it comes to the industry, if you're in the industry, of course, you're going to get paid an assumption of money that you need to get through that industry. But when it comes to school manipulation, they even put me as a victim in school. And what I did was I went through the whole school cycle, and I actually paid attention. I actually learned my teachers. I actually studied everything. I actually wrote down everything. And then once I got through school, I was like, okay, when you get put out in this real world, you start understanding what social studies, the Boston Tea Party, and all that stuff. What is that? What is that helping me learn right now? Why did I even need to know about that? I could have just read that when I got older if I wanted to know about that. But they teach you stuff, they feed you stuff that you really don't need to know about because it was just really gossip and stuff that was happening back in the days. Everything is really rewritten. So now in this community, they put the kids in a position where they make them learn a lot of stuff that's actually not even needed instead of real stuff that they actually really need to know.
And we have a word thing so we can have to know which word is which, but they mix up the words.
Yeah, he was explaining to me about how one of his homeworks they mix up the words on the thing, and that's another thing that's just getting crazy is how a lot of times now um, they let y'all do y'all work digitally. You know, like back
Sometimes in
back
the
in
group.
class, we used to have a pen and a paper, or actually a pencil and a paper, and we had to literally write everything. Nowadays, everything is on the computer. He just literally said that the thing will scramble everything on the thing, and they press it, and that's how they do it. They
Like,
test.
so it's like in a box, and then the words are scrambled. There's 4 words.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then sometimes you have to look back to see if it was the right answer.
So it kind of confuses them, but it makes them look at it logic like, okay, I had to remember this, study this. But that's the main thing. But the thing that I'm getting at is the things that they're studying and the words that they are studying is not stuff that they actually need for their real life when they're doing it in real life in this time now. Because in this time now, it's really hard. We have to worry about a lot of other stuff than what they be learning. So my main point is how the school manipulates you, because I've been through school. I've been through all of them past college, and I learned that they all can benefit in certain different ways. But the thing is, the only thing that they can benefit is what school you went to and saying the name of the school. If you have like a big college that you go to, and you're known as an alumni from that college or whatever, then that makes you, feel great or whatever. But as a child coming up from a system, they don't really understand the difference. Just put it, say for instance like this. A kid living in Atlanta or living in Tennessee or living in Texas or even living in Arkansas, they all could be on different times. You see what I mean? So he right now could be, what grade are you in?
4th.
Exactly. And right now it can be somebody the same age. What's your age?
10.
That could actually be on a higher grade level in their state or a lower grade level in their state, which is kind of confusing to the system, because the system set this up because they actually want kids to learn in certain areas faster, or certain areas, certain stuff that they want to push to the kids, but the kids are not to understand. What is crazy is, you think about it, this is how the system manipulates you, and this is how they get you to be like, okay, well, I'm going to focus on if this is the right thing to do. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. It could be, it could be. But really, we always known to work. That's the main thing about school. School
Just
teaches
work.
you work, because it's basically practicing you to go to work. Because you're getting up in the morning, right? Tired. Having to go somewhere and eat breakfast first. Then, on top of that, you go and learn something. And then, if you're not really learning, for real, you're just going somewhere for the moment of the time being, and then you're leaving. So
just like you just wasting your time.
it's basically like you're just doing the same thing over and over until you get that job when you get older. Then they training you. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Then you got to go to that in the morning.
In the
To
morning,
the same time. You see what I'm saying?
Sometimes
It's basically
earlier.
that's why I explain to everybody. Schools is manipulation, because in the mind, really, if you really use your mind and think about it when you get older, I'm not telling everybody, hey, drop out. I'm not telling everybody, hey, school's not good. I'm not telling everybody that, because some kids actually learn from their experience, and they actually get a good experience out of school. What I'm saying is the schools isn't teaching the right narrative, and sometimes they won't let the kids understand. Sometimes it take kids 2 to 3, maybe 4 times to really go over something to really understand. And they won't even give you enough time to understand or sit with you to understand. Just like certain businesses, they don't know how to run them. It's the same thing with the school system. The teachers that work at the schools, they work at the schools on payroll. It's not like they're working for free out the kindness of their heart. So therefore, they're not going to do the best job that they can do. I'm just going to be honest. It's just being flat out.
Like my teacher, she said, y'all not getting paid, but I'm getting paid.
Exactly. So for her to tell the students that she's getting paid, but they're not getting paid right yet, meaning she's working for the system already, but y'all are getting prepared to work for the system. And she's letting that alarm, but she haven't even realized that she's stuck in the system herself, because she's working for the system, teaching y'all something that she knows is not going to benefit y'all in y'all life, but she's doing it because she rather get what? Paid. So that's the main thing that I want to say about this story, and I want to wrap it up real quick. This your boy, y'all already know, Shrugga, and this is the Think About It channel. I want y'all to comment, like, subscribe, and tell me everything of what y'all think about how they can manipulate kids from school because they will really push a bad narrative. Y'all have a great rest of y'all night or day, wherever time y'all in when this is dropped. You want to say anything?
Yeah. Bye y'all and subscribe.
Let's get it.